Well, my message this Independence Day, the 66th Independence Day, to Indians is felicitations, congratulations. We're all part of a great civilization, great country. And what I would say to the community here is that you're uniquely placed in being able to serve. And while you consolidate the great nation building process in India, you are also adding tremendous value to the economic growth and development of the UAE. So continue doing that, excel in your professional fields, in business, enterprise, education, whatever it is that you do. India as a country is moving ahead, is doing well. We are going to be a great nation, a nation which will try and bring smiles to all and everyone in its territory. And so enjoy yourself. I know it's a working day, but think of your country. I'm sure you do it every year and all days of the year, but today is special. Listen to those songs which sometimes bring tears to your eyes, but carry on doing what you do and do it well.
Well, he's made quite an impression on TV City 1016 right from his very first speech, which I remember very clearly, where his words, I think, stay with me till today. We've got with us His Excellency, the Consul General of India in Dubai, Mrs. Sanjay Verma. Thank you so much for joining us this Independence Day. For me, the words that you said that day mean so much. When someone asked you, how do we Indians excel or make our country proud, and you said just that, excel in whatever it is that you're doing. That was really inspirational.
I remember that. Thank you for having me on your show again.
You're most welcome. It's a pleasure to have you. Tell us, how do you celebrate Independence Day here, being away from home, away from India? What are the differences that you see?
Well, in India, it's a given. I mean, there is a general sense of festivity,
Right,
which sort of seeps in every aspect of an Indian's life on that particular day. In Dubai, for example, or the UAE, since we are in an alien foreign land, but I see the same intensity in the Indians, and it's special. It's probably even better to sense that Indians staying away from the homeland are still connecting.
right,
And with this age of communication, you always get to hear PM's speech early in the morning from the Red Fort at 7:30, which is 9 o'clock here. And generally, the sense, television coverage, radio stations. But to see that Indians are still connecting, I mean, the young Indians are globalized Indians. They sort of connect to the world, to India, to UAE. In a sense, they're blessed that they're part of two great nation building processes, one in India and one in the UAE.
absolutely. And I agree with you. I think the intensity, especially being away from home, is so much more, where I think maybe in India for us for a long time it was just about getting a day off. But here suddenly there's that fervor and you feel the spirit and you want to play the music and absolutely. So what is in store at the Indian Consulate this Independence Day for all of us?
Not very different in terms of the essential program at the consulate. We will have the flag hoisting at 8 a.m. in the morning. The gates would open at 7:40. And the program would include me reading excerpts from our new president's address to the nation, and I will add a few pearls of wisdom for the community. Thereafter, we will have a short cultural program. We are having a couple of our Indian singers based here in the community to come and sing some nice peppy patriotic songs, and that's as far as the program at the consulate goes. Remember, it's a working day, and it's Ramzan as well. So keeping that in mind, we try and keep the program short and sweet to probably 40 minutes in all.
Right.
But having said that, there were two other activities which we put together to commemorate the Independence Day. One was a blood donation drive which happened at the consulate on Friday.
Okay.
And that was specially to mark Independence Day. We had about almost 200 people donating blood. And a very special event is on the eve of Independence Day, that is on 14th night. There's a band of about 20 enthusiastic Indian runners who will be doing the mini marathon, 21 kilometers,
Wow.
beginning at about 10 in the night, and concluding, finishing at probably midnight hour when, the Independence Day begins.
That's amazing. Where is that going to happen?
That's going to happen, well, we'll flag it off at the consulate, and then they'll take a chakkar around Dubai, Karama, Dera, etc. and come back to the consulate. And these are serious Indian runners. They're part of the Dubai Creek Striders Club.
Okay.
And so they've chosen to show, their love for the country, one, and two, to send a message to the Indian community that we need to be more sporty, we need to be more active physically, and this, in a sense, suggests two things. One is patriotism, and the other is a more healthy existence.
Which I know is one of the things that you strongly believe in, because you've mentioned it in a lot of your speeches. I think even last Independence Day you said that as a community we need to get more fit.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
And that is why there was a proposal that with this 21-kilometer run, let's also have one for enthusiastic Indians, 2 kilometers or 3 kilometers. I said no. We've done too much of cosmetics, we've done too much of casualness in sports. Either you're good enough to do 21, if you want, come back next year and join the boys, the men. And this is the whole attitude towards sports, chalta hai, and that's why we will only get 5 or 6 medals at the Olympics.
Yes, absolutely true. Off late, you've started another initiative, which is you've invited people to come and meet you one Saturday of the month, and you discuss their problems, offer solutions. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and what the response has been?
Well, this comes out straight out of the directions given by our Honorable External Affairs Minister, Mr. S.M. Krishna.
Okay.
He's directed all Indian missions worldwide to have open days.
Right.
And we've chosen in the UAE, both the embassy and the consulate, to have open day on the first Sunday of a month. First Sunday of a month, and we throw the doors open from 11 to 12 to the community members to come in with whatever issues they may have. So while we've done that, I think the response hasn't been that great. We just had about 10 people in the first one, 6 in the second, and probably we had four Indians who came to the open day this Sunday. This could be either our publicity hasn't been great, or two, we already running an open and accessible consulate. You can always send us a mail or seek appointments, and in a sense it's probably, for many people, it's not something which gives an opening to the consulate for the first time. We are an open consulate, so in that sense I don't know whether we will continue with this, because we aren't getting that kind of response.
I probably think it's the second one, not the first. In Delhi there's, well, you can call it a tradition, but people like to fly kites on Independence Day. I don't know if it's about soaring, about freedom, about independence, flying free, as it were. Do you miss that? Have you ever done something like that?
Well, I haven't grown up in Delhi. I've grown up in Bombay, but I flew a lot of kites. I remember even making manja once. You crush glass, and there was a particular, flower bud in Mumbai which you crushed for green color, put it together, put in some glue, roll it, and we've done that. We played gilli danda, we played marbles, koiba we used to call it in Mumbai. We've done all those sort of things apart from the regular sports. But yes, I think it's a fantastic association, kites and freedom. I think you put it very aptly in saying that it's a spirit soaring high, and it's great. I think it's part of the culture. It adds so much color, and people coming onto terraces and flying kites.
And skill.
And
it's a lot
skill,
of skill.
yes.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
When you read about different problems plaguing our country, whether it's a power outage in North India, or the lack of, sports people in our country, how do you feel about that? Your perspective is quite different from ours.
Well, this being 15th August, I need to take a very different perspective to issues of negativity. For example, what is the national score in 65 years of independence? You don't look at the day's temperature and say, this defines the annual weather pattern or seasons. It's a day's score or a day's temperature. Similarly, in India, on 15th August, I would say let's look at 65 years of independence and the 66th Independence Day. What is that we have achieved? Don't forget that ours is not a small nation which can control the number of people staying there, can have a government which can reach all the people at the same time in terms
Right.
of decision making, because we are a continent. We are a 5,000-year-old subcontinental civilization which became a modern state about 65 years ago, and that in itself brings about a new responsibility, a new identity. What is it that we have done in 65 years? For one, we haven't broken up into fragments.
True.
Number two, there was a time when we had 3 women chief ministers. The leader of the biggest party is a woman, and some of you may have just missed it, but I think a leading Indian TV channel and magazine have put Baba Sahib Ambedkar as the greatest Indian since Gandhi. Now what does that tell us? That tells us that the socio-political consolidation, I'm not even talking about the economy right now,
Right.
the socio-political consolidation in India has been fantastic. Now that is a score nobody keeps. You can't keep a score. What is the rate at which a society is growing? You can say economics, yes, GDP is 6%, 7%, 8%. But it's very hard to define political and social growth. Now these are the underappreciated features of independent India. Women in India. Sure, on television you find, adverse cases of women facing sexual molestation issues of that
Those
nature.
have been coming to light quite a bit these
But
days.
there's also a fact that if you look at the body language of the Indian woman today to compare 20 years back, she's a lot more confident.
Absolutely.
In the workforce, in my own ministry, in the government, in business, women are all over. Some of our greatest examples or role models out of the Olympics aren't men, it's women. You can actually get tears in your eyes when you see the way the Indian women has risen from, whether it's Saina or Mary Kom. This is the new India, and this is what is going to, take us even further. Because without socio-political consolidation, you will not have long-term economic growth. These are the real stories. Yes, I agree. Blackout, or there's a dip in the economic growth, infrastructure deficit. But you go to India now, you see infrastructure is coming up. You go to the roads. I was there recently. The Bangalore to Mangalore road was fantastic, the national highway. You see that, or the new Yamuna expressway from Delhi to Agra. Things are happening.
The Pune Expressway.
The Pune Expressway, our educational institutions, there is so much progress, there's so much energy, so much excitement. And I'm sure the younger generation is going to take India to even greater heights. So keep aside the pessimism, you don't look at the, it's not a T20 match.
Right. Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. How did you celebrate Independence Day as a child? Because I think when, as children, when we're in school, there's always that flag hoisting, there's always a little samosa and batata vada that you get, you have to wear traditional clothes. It's a different kind of celebration and excitement. So maybe you could paint us a little picture.
I've been thinking about this. How do I look at Independence Day to, let's say, how my daughter or kids who are 15 or teenagers look at Independence Day, whether in India or abroad. I think with my generation, the fun was there, laddus and chutti and all that. But, we had a more, what you call a vertical understanding of independence, because somewhere our association or remembrance of the whole process of freedom,
yes,
the leaders, what they meant, their speeches,
the struggle,
it connected with us a lot more. It doesn't connect with the kids today because we moved a long way from that period of time, and the kids have different role models. The idea of freedom struggle, independence are almost alien concepts to them. So in a sense, they celebrate Independence Day with a lot of fervor, but theirs is more horizontal. It's a shared happiness. But in our generation, while it was a shared happiness, there was a vertical understanding of history.
Right.
So the present generation's understanding of history, I wouldn't say is poor, but it doesn't find a place.
It's not as connected.
It's not connected. It's not connected, and which is, I don't know whether it's a good thing or bad thing, but the fact that if they start interpreting independence as independence from prejudices, independence from inefficiency, I think we have a great future ahead of. I think that is the essential difference. We feel, for example, the patriotic films of our time made you cry. Hakikat songs and all that made you, even today you hear the song in the flag, invariably I will have tears in my eyes. But a kid of today, his Bollywood dose and patriotism comes through Lagan, comes through Chak De or Rang De Basanti, which is also a celebration of India, of patriotism. So this is a different take. Maybe it's a good take, maybe it's a better take, Maybe the emotional sentimentality which my generation had is giving way to a more pragmatic, practical, fun-loving approach to
because it
independence.
adds another layer, which is not just what happened or the emotionality of it or the being sentimental about it, which of course is there, but it adds another layer of desh perfect nahi hota, usse perfect banana padta hai.
Absolutely.
So what are you doing to make your country perfect? I guess there's that other layer attached to it.
It is, and I'm not even for a moment suggesting that the kids today love their nation lesser than we did.
Right.
Never, no.
So what did you do on Independence Day as a child?
Probably looked at that holiday as a chutti, and heard speeches. Had a holiday. It's just that when you grow a little older, then you sort of start deconstructing things, analyzing them, etc.
True. Thank you so much for talking to us on Independence Day. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.